Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for another segment of our All About Paper course. In this segment, we're going to be testing the different types of inks when stamping. So I only have 4 different types of inks here. I have a Versa Magic chalk ink, a Memento dye ink. This ink came in one of those little sets that come from Target. So we're going to test this out and see how it works. And then this is an office ink. So it's a refillable ink where you can get like little bottles and then you just roll it over the pad to re-ink the pad. So we're going to test these and see how they hold up to the different types of weights. Here we have 20 pound, 24 pound, and 28 pound paper. We're going to be testing on one sheet to see whether or not the inks bleed through. So let me just clip these. So I'm going to test them one color or one ink at a time. That way I can just stamp on each of the papers. And then we're going to check at the end to see whether or not they bled. So let's set this aside and take our inks. So I'm just using, I believe this is a polymer stamp and then a little stamp block. So we're just going to test this out. And then I'm just going to re-ink them each time. That way we can really see whether or not they'll bleed through. Let's try the Versa Magic. Oh, you see, that's a lot of ink. I think that one might bleed. So that was the Versa Magic chalk ink. The first one was the Memento dye ink. So now is the Target ink. It doesn't ink onto the stamp very well, so let's see how it holds up on paper. Yeah, it's really blotchy. Okay. Oh, I got a little bit of blue, but you can see the black, so it's not too bad. And now for the office ink. It's not as blotchy, but still a little bit. It's a little bit darker. We can go ahead and check. So this is the 20 pound, 24 pound, and 28 pound. So as you can see, they all kind of bled through. So you can see each of the inks, not so much the blue, but it's a lighter ink, which is probably why. But you can, especially if you press down hard, it tends to leak through a little bit more. But as you can see, all of the weights bled through. So if you don't mind it, then you can choose any weight you like. I'd still just recommend the heavier weights just because they do tend to bleed a little bit less. You can really tell on the last stamp there. And it does depend on how heavy you press down the stamp, but there's all kinds of factors involved with that. So there you have it. That's how the ink held up. If you folks have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the forum. Other than that, I hope you folks enjoyed watching. Thanks.